Good morning. It is Wednesday, 19th of April, 2017. Woo. Here we are. It's time for Places of Opposite spread. I think it'll be interesting to see. 3 decks wanted to come out and play. I'm not sure how it's going to work, and it may be that one of these is for something totally different. So as a person will pray that as we do this card sharing moment and look at the places of opposites, that people can tune into their own guidance and understand the message for them out of it, and that we just really have clear communication and all underneath the blessings of this. So the 3 decks that came out today wanted to play were the Indigo Angel Oracle cards, this deck here, the Archangel Oracle cards, this deck here, and again the OSHO Zen deck. I just love how the Zen Tarot and the angels seem to be working well together. It's kind of fun to see. So. It looks like we're going to start with the OSHO Zen doing the places of opposites placements, and then we'll just see. I have to laugh because, working with energy and working with guidance and working with your clairvoyance and your intuition is all about just trusting what you get. I've had a lot of training, so it's not just always blind trust. There's things that you get that if it doesn't resonate with you, that's when you sit and meditate and you pray. You're like, what's going on here? But most often, especially with an active meditation practice and a lot of prayer practice and a lot of using of my intuition and my clairvoyance, it's a lot easier to trust it. Wednesday, April 19th, coming out of last week's places of opposites and last week's vibrations and moving into through this weekend and into next Wednesday. The energy we're looking at. The top card. Again, the top card is what is most apparent in front of us. Usually things we know we're working on, or things we know we're encountering, or things we know we want to do. The bottom card is kind of more the things you're not aware of, opposite, things that nevertheless often drive the ship. Subconscious programming, or even things that you don't know are in play, fate, that kind of thing. And to the left is the mental mind, our analytical behaviors, our pros and cons conscious. Is also kind of the past, so where we're coming from, what we're basing things on. And moving to the right, that is our heart and our intuition and our emotional response and what feels right to us. Also indicates often a likely future where we're going, so, or how the energy is building into it. And in the center is the theme that ties these opposites all together. And usually it's the theme. Sometimes if you're asking a very specific question, so if you've had a question on your mind, so you sat down and watched this video, the center can be the resolution, the answer you're looking for. Before I turn these over, want you. Okay. Awesome. All right, so the Indigo Angels are going to help with clarification on the top and the bottom, the things you're aware of and your subconscious things, as well as a bonus card to help out with the middle. And the Angel Oracle cards are going to go left to right with help us clarify our mental and emotional responses and the flow of time, as well as a bonus card for the theme. So I don't know if this just means it's going to be a big week for everybody, if things are shifting. I know that there's been, the retrograde energies have both been surprisingly eloquent in that they're allowing for things that you'd maybe put on hold to come back in a lively fashion and progress. They're also really highlighting, making it obvious to us how one of the things that humans do is they view the world through their own opinions and experiences, and we call this projection. And it's becoming very clear to people when they're encountering somebody or they're having communication, whether that communication is authentic about what's going on or if it's a projection, if it's going on through somebody's filtered opinion. And sometimes that can make the communication feel very awkward, but it really is showing us, for ourselves, where our own projections may lie, but also showing us through the mirror how no one's truth is absolute, because it's always filtered through their human experience. So that being said, we are looking top, bottom, middle from the Indigo Angels. So top, bottom, middle, a little bit of energy there. I don't want to move off center here, so it's going to move these boxes a little now that we've kind of said hello to which decks we're using. We roll from the side. And the Archangel. Ooh, clearing a lot of energy. Alright, the Archangel Oracle deck, going from left and right, showing us again our mental and emotional focuses and flow of time, and also giving us more clarification on that theme, that center resolution card. So again, I do believe that there's at least two of you watching who've had a big question on your mind, and really tune in to what's going on with these things that come up, what speaks to you out of it. I really think that you will find, if not the answer, the stepping stones that will lead you to your answer in your own way. So, yeah, two of you. And the rest of us are just going to be enjoying looking at how this energy echoes in our life, and I always find it fun to see how it plays out. So. Okay, left, mental states, past. Right, two cards there. Yeah, all right. And moving forward into future, our emotional state, and resolution. All right, let's do this thing. So at the top, things that we are most aware of. We have ripeness in the earth suit. This is truly the card of harvest, and it is the act of harvesting, so it's one recognizing that what you have been working on or growing is ready to collect. And if you don't collect it, the fruit just rots on the tree, falls to the ground, becomes worthless. So don't let your fear of how things will change once you collect this harvest of all the stuff you've been working on stop you. If you don't collect it, it just goes to waste and to rot. So it's a time of active collection of the, it's kind of like, it's not the go button because you've been going, but it's, you just have to finally pick the fruit. You have to take it all in and say, all right, it looks like, for many this will be a creative project where you've gotten it as where you go, and now you got to take it to your publisher. You got to take it to a financer who can back it and put it out there for you. That's what I'm seeing is you've developed a product or a thing, and you've taken it as far as you can without it, and so now you've got to harvest it by bringing in the resources that take it to the next level. And that's where I see the fear pictures coming in. Things that want to slow you down is like, well, maybe it's not quite right. Maybe it has to be perfect. It's like, forget the perfection pictures. Now's the time. You've brought it as far as you can go. It's time to harvest. It's time to collect. It's time to receive back from it. And it's time to let it stand on its own 2 feet. So, and that's what's in the forefront of you, right? So you're probably already kind of aware of like, oh, I need to do that. On the subconscious side, the driving forces, understanding. This is the page card, if you're going to equate it to a traditional tarot, of the water suit. And therefore it's, it's your dream, it's your baby. I mean, this project, this thing you're doing, you've put a lot of effort, you've envisioned it forever, and it's here, so it's kind of scary. I mean, it's the real deal. It's like the difference between imagining what things are going to be like and what happens when they come in. And again, there's that fear of, what if it doesn't happen the way I hoped? Will I be sad? Will I lose the dream? And the guidance I'm getting here is that you don't have to be where, understand where your fears are coming from. Understand the beauty of the dream you have. Understand how it's an expression of you, and that how anybody else takes it doesn't define you. There will be people who love what you do and can't get enough of it, and there will be people who look at you and you're not their cup of tea. You're not speaking their language, and that is okay. You're not going to be everybody's favorite cup of tea. But the people that you speak to and the people who need what you have are going to be so grateful. And that's just where you have to allow yourself to be you, and allow yourself to have the audience that you have, and allow yourself to not be everything to everybody. So. All right. I was just looking whether we should do the indigo cards, but I think we're supposed to do the whole reading. So, all right. Ugh. The mental state from the left, politics. Hello, what's going on in the planet right now? There's all kinds of creative maneuverings, and it just makes us fearful and doubt, and even wonder if people are even kind-hearted. But I just see where the guidance is. Yes, there's a lot of ugly maneuverings, but don't be obsessed by them. Don't let them crowd out everything else. Don't let them turn you sour. You can use your discernment and know when people are blowing smoke or making choices that aren't even based on any kind of reality. They're just repeating what was spoon-fed to them, or if they are manipulating things for their own benefit. I mean, be aware, be discerning, don't be obsessed. And certainly, you know, do your best to acknowledge that it's there so it can't come in and sneak up behind you and undermine you, but just tell it to be gone. Like, it's not the focus of your life. The focus of your life is you and what you're creating and what you're learning and how you're interacting with everything. And certainly outside influences provide you with opportunity and challenges to grow yourself more. But don't be obsessed by what other people want you to play in the fear game. It's not worth it all. The emotions going forward. Oh, hey, it's the awareness card. This came up yesterday, not in the middle of the daily reading, but about an hour later as I was getting ready to clean up the daily reading. I just thought, there's more here. And so I shuffled, and it ended up being, you know, 3 triangles, which I did post on the Facebook page. So if you want to check that out. Anyway, understanding came up. Awareness. And this is a major arcana card. This is, you know, as a friend of mine put it, it's being able to see both sides of a situation and making a choice of how you're going to act and then doing it. It's also being aware of your subconscious drivers and your conscious wants and being self-disciplined enough to move forward in the direction you want without letting those subconscious fears stop you. So I think this is very much, you know, the answer to this political madness that gets into our brain and our analyzer and our thought process. Is like, you know what? You control you. That's what you have control over. You control how you think, you control how you act, you control how you feel. You may think you're out of control, like somebody made me feel that way. It's like, no. You always have the choice of what you focus on and what you choose and how you feel. And if you don't like the way that you're feeling, you always have the choice of changing, maybe not the political game, but certainly what you focus on or what you choose to support or spend your time on. So. All right, in the center, woohoo, we have success. This is the 6 of fire, or the 6 of spirit in this deck. This is, you know, really plays on you've created this thing, and now it is time to harvest it and to enjoy that recognition and that success and everything that it can bring you. You know, again, those fear pictures of what if just blow off, and instead focus on how it will feel for it to be finished and out there and appreciated and used. Maybe not by everybody, but certainly by people who need it and enjoy it and appreciate it. So, all right, pretty clear, pretty clear places of opposites there. Let's see what the Indigo Angels have to give us for clarification on what we're focused on. Oh, this is interesting. You know, I see it's this card of compassion, and you know, it's in a side to. Okay. I don't remember when we talked about this, but we did talk about it recently. But you don't have to dim your joy. You don't have to dim your success because you're afraid that it's going to make somebody else feel bad. But you do want to have that compassion, understanding how people may react and how they may be feeling, but that's their reaction. Again, you have control of you. They have control of them. How they choose to act or react is their story, not yours. But you can certainly have compassion for where they're coming from or why they're reacting the way they react. So, and this may be family members who were never able to accomplish what you're going to accomplish. It could be friends who have been struggling and they look at you like, why do you always have all the luck? It could be a sibling. I mean, I see these are very strong, close relationships where you're afraid to go after this harvest, in part because you're afraid of how, what your dream is, but you're also afraid that your success might hurt somebody's feelings, and that's just, whether it does or not is their story. You can have compassion for them and understanding and not trigger their soft spots, but doesn't mean that you can't have what you've been creating for yourself. All right. And in understanding that you may not be everybody's cup of tea, what you create may not be what the whole of all of the population of the world wants, but it is important. So it gives you immense freedom because you're no longer limiting yourself on having to please everybody. You can now just focus on being you and giving out what you give to the people that match that and need it and want it. It's huge, a huge thing that by actually, in a way, limiting your focus and being like, hey, I don't have to work for everybody, you remove the limits on your creativity and you get a lot of freedom out of it and a lot of joy. Joy is right here, right now. All right. Waiting on those. Okay. And to the left, we had 2 Archangel Oracle cards come up. We have Victory. I see, in your mind, you've played out how the logical scenarios can go. You've played out all of the benefits and all of the things, and you've even, it looks like, had a little bit of taste of what that victory feels like. But really, I think the message here is that the victory is not in the past, but that it's carrying forward. But we'll see what this other card has to say. Spiritual understanding. There's a lot of everything that we do in our life ultimately is about spiritual growth, is about your spirit experiencing and learning. It's just about it experiencing. And it's not a judgment on good or bad. If it was a bad experience or a good experience, that's all perspective in the moment. Right now, something may feel like a bad experience in 20 years. You might look back on and be like, oh, thank you, Lord. If that hadn't happened, I would have been, so it's good and bad is all perspective every time. But, where you're coming from is a place of understanding how all of this stuff is aligned with your spirit on a mental level. Your brain understanding that what you're doing is because you want to have more spiritual growth. You want to be more connected with your source. And really, that's a huge victory for most people. That connection of real life to spiritual relationship and spiritual growth. So, and I think it's really, I see. They're also saying that everything going on in politics right now is really shattering a lot of the pedestal games where we put politicians on pedestals and expected them to be like God. They're leading our country, right? They obviously know what's best for everybody, and realizing that they're just human. And fortunately, there are still, I believe, a lot of politicians who have the good of the whole in mind. It still comes through their perspective, though, of what is good for the whole. There are, unfortunately, some politicians who only have themselves in mind. And really understanding politics from a spiritual level, as well as a mental level, and busting those pedestal games of, well, they're our leader, they must know best, and they're our leader, they deserve our respect. It's like everything, politicians are human. And they only deserve your respect if they earn it. And they only know how to lead if they know how to lead. And if they don't know how to lead, we better be praying a whole lot more. All right, emotional, going forward. This card is titled Angel Therapy. I'm going to read it to you. It's actually Archangel Raphael, the Archangel of Healing. Give your cares, give your worries to God and His angels, and allow us to carry your burden for you. You know, so this, as we're coming into that ability to face your fears, to face the subconscious things, and to make the choices to walk forward in what you want to create for yourself and how you want to live. You know, that self-discipline, you're always battling worry. So give that worry to the angels and let them carry the worry for you. Just walk in faith. Walk in that pure certainty that you're going in the right direction. All right, and in the center we had success. Ooh, a lot of joy. Spirit, very excited. And the Indigo Angels say, while you're experiencing success, and as you know, when you harvest and you're bringing in that expert and taking it to the next level, there will be a whole lot of activity. But it's really important in the middle of all that success to take care of you on every level. Get enough rest. Eat good foods. Pray. Give yourself time to relax. Give yourself time to turn off your brain, whether that's through exercise or play or painting or journaling or just sitting outside in nature. Whatever that is to you, make sure you're giving yourself plenty of self-care. Because if you're not sustaining you, even though you're experiencing success and the harvest, it'll wear you out. So give yourself a lot of self-care. All right, and the very last card in the center, going with success and self-care, is Archangel Jeremiah. And he's here to tell you, all is well. Everything is happening exactly as it is supposed to. With hidden blessings, you will understand soon. And I just see, you know, really everything is coming the way it's supposed to come out. You are ready to harvest. You're going to be successful. You can let go of all of your worries about how people are going to take you, whether it's because you're afraid that you're going to hurt their feelings or because you're afraid you're not going to be their cup of tea. You can just trust that everything's happening exactly the way it's supposed to be. Even in the world of politics, even as we're shattering all of the illusionary games that are going on out there and really seeing some of that for what it is. And even as we are conquering our fears and moving forward, you know, just release your worries. All is well. All is well. You're on the path to success. Be sure to take care of yourself. And that, you know, it's going to be a great week. So really tune in, tap in. I appreciate you being here with me. This was a pretty long video, pretty big, so it will be challenging for me to get that written out in a written form for a Facebook post, but I'll do my best, or it may be that I just refer back to the video. So, as always, ask me questions, leave your comments. If I'm your cup of tea, let me know. If I'm not your cup of tea, let me know. You know, either way. If I talk too fast, if I don't talk clear enough, if I don't explain things, I'll take any kind of criticism with my own level of discernment. And thank you for being here with me today. Enjoy your week.